Hello, everybody. Andrew Blake from the digitalaudiomanual.com with another episode of Cubase Tips for the week of February 2nd, 2026. When we talk about VST instruments, we're talking about software synthesizers and effects that are included in Cubase, or they may be third-party ones that you've installed yourself. But these various VST software synthesizers, once we load them up properly, allow us to play and record various sounds into a Cubase project. Typical example, if I go to this Hallion track, press the button that says open the instrument, I can see the Hallion interface, I can play this keyboard below, get sounds from the instrument, or I can play my MIDI keyboard or triggering device and get sounds that way. One place to begin looking at this, go up to your studio menu and come down to the option that says VST instruments. This will open up a floating screen, these little boxes, and each one of these is a VST instrument that's currently opened up in this project. You can get the exact same interface. You come over to your right zone, hit the tab that says VSTi. Once again, you get this running list of all the various instruments that are currently opened in your project. In my example, I have quite a few here. You may open this up and have only a few, and in some cases, you might not have any listed here. The initials VST stand for Virtual Studio Technology, and it's always a fun fact to reflect that Steinberg actually invented this, even though it's in use by everybody else. And when you go to open up a VST, you actually have two choices. We look over in this right area. At the very top, there's a plus button that says Track Instruments. If we hit that plus button, we get a dialog where we can choose one of our included VSTs on our system and then say Add the track. If we scroll to the bottom of this list, there's another option that says Rack Instruments. This was the original technology, and there's a little difference to how things are set up. If you hit the plus button, again, you're going to see all your different instruments. But if you actually install one of these, you're going to see some difference in the way it's configured. Although there are still times where you'll want to use these rack instrument options, most of the time, you're going to want to go with the track instrument option, mainly because the simplicity of it, everything's included. When we add the track, everything is ready to go. All we have to do is hit record and begin playing our part, which creates a MIDI part that we can play back or edit any way we need to. All right, let's talk about quick controls. Along the top of most of your VST instruments and effects, you're going to see a little icon that says QC, and that stands for the quick controls. If I open that up, now along the top edge of this Hallion, you have these various knobs and buttons that if I take any one of them, say this volume, for example, and I begin moving it, at the same time, because it's connected to the volume, it's moving this slider and changing the volume of the VST. These quick controls initially are assigned various parameters, but you can change that and set them up pretty much however you want, and then you can use these quick controls to automate the various parameters on your synthesizer or effect. Just like there is on the instrument itself, if we come down to most any track, there's a separate tab over on the left that also says Quick Controls. If we open that up, again, we have these various kind of sliders we can click on and drag, changing the different values, and these allow us to control the VST synthesizer or effect with either similar controls or completely different ones. Not only do we have them on the instrument and then this track view, but if we open up the mixer and look up in this upper area, right now nothing is visible. But if we come over to this far right icon, it stands for a window layout. Clicking on that, in this list we have an option that says Quick Controls. As I select that, now when I move up and down in this list, I also have a category at the bottom that says QC or Quick Control. I can click on that, open it up, and there are all my quick controls again that I can click on and adjust however I want. This view is also good because it allows you to quickly see throughout your project what tracks may be using these various quick controls. There's many ways to auto-assign these various parameters to these quick controls, but one of your first options, going back over into the track tab, is to hit this down arrow, and then I can look through all the various options that are listed here, or I can just type in something specific and search for it. Next up, we have some options involving an independent track loop. In this example, I have a 1-bar MIDI drum pattern. If I play this 1-bar MIDI drum pattern, once the pattern runs out, there's no drums playing for the rest of this loop. If I go down into the key editor, make sure the option for independent track loop is on, and then turn it on, I can set up a loop point by drawing with my mouse on the ruler. This independent track loop will now play over and over this one bar, even though the pattern extends for 8 bars. If I play it, the drums will continue to play. But then at some point, if I decide I want to make this drum part longer, I can take the end of the event, stretch it out wherever I want, making sure that my independent loop is only over the part that I want repeated. I go up to MIDI, repeat the loop, it then fills in all that MIDI to the end of that part. And there's still many more functions to go. So if you're looking for complete demonstrations on all these different features and operations in Cubase and other music software, be sure to click the link in the description below or visit thedigitalaudio.manual.com for more information. As always, it's great to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.